Hello everyone, and welcome to a playoff edition of the Clips of the Week. We are done with round one and looking forward to round two's action. Best of luck to all the players, coaches, teams that are playing this week, and to all of the officials from around the state of Oregon who have a game this week. Our sincerest best wishes for a good game. We want to look at some clips from the last couple of weeks as we continue to prepare for the remainder of the playoff season. As you may recall, last week we showed 3 hurdling clips, and this clip was sent in after an official watched that video. It's important to remember who has primary responsibility on different areas of the field. On this play, we're going to have a try, and the area of responsibility we want to key in on here is who has the protection of the snapper, or who is looking at any potential contact against them. And that, of course, is either the umpire or the center judge. So we're going to see this clip from both angles, here from the sideline and also from the end zone. So let's focus our concentration on action near the center, the snapper. And we're going to see a player that has leapt over the snapper. So the question becomes whether or not this is a hurdling foul. So let's go ahead and watch this from the end zone view. And what we're going to see here is that after the snapper snaps it, they have both hands up off the ground. So this would be a foul for hurdling. So as we talked about last week, hurdling is a foul if the opponent has one or both feet on the ground and no other body part. So the fact that the snapper does not have a hand on the ground and the defensive player hurdles over them, we should have a personal foul here for hurdling by the defense. And again, this would be the primary responsibility of the umpire or center judge on this play. On this clip, we want to look at our pre-snap keys against the receivers, particularly the ones that are pressed. Now, in a balanced formation, strength is going to be towards the line judge's side, and we typically say the back judge is going to have the outside receiver, while the wing official would then have the inside receiver. In this case, the receivers are stacked. So we want to make sure that we do pay special attention to that forward receiver who is pressed by the defensive player. And this is right in front of the line judge, or the back judge can offer help on this. So let's watch the action by the receiver towards the line judge side. It's going to be a clear takedown hold, and they also throw them to the ground. And this is towards the point of attack, at least towards the side of the field in which the runner would go. But we want to call a takedown hold at all points on the field. So we should have had an offensive holding call here, most likely by the line judge, but possibly by the back judge as well. Now this play is from the same game, and this is just a couple of plays later, and this is the 7th play of the game. And we want to watch what happens after the touchdown catch by the receiver here. And it's kind of hard to tell, but it appears that they stand over their opponent and either give them the shush signal, or perhaps they are doing something like blowing a kiss. So let's look at the back judge's mechanics real quick. In a SRI bulletin a couple of weeks ago, the SRI asked us to show strength as a back judge by facing towards the direction of the strength. So excellent job here by the back judge, who's at a 45-degree angle towards the offense's right side of the formation. So that's signaling strength. However, they quickly realize the pass is going the other way. They do a good job of getting into position. But at the end of this play again, we have the player standing over their opponent and making some sort of gesture while standing over their opponent. The back judge takes a quick look towards the line judge to make sure everything is legal, and unfortunately misses this. This is early in the game, and based on conversation with our SRI, we can fully support an unsportsmanlike foul here because we don't want frustration or tempers to mount this early in the game. At an absolute bare minimum, we need to talk to this player and to their coach to let them know that we saw this and that we do not want any more action like this throughout the rest of the game. So of course we're going to take a look at a few scrimmage kick plays, and this one's kind of interesting because we're going to get a blocked kick and it does not go beyond the line of scrimmage. It's recovered by the offense, who throws a pass to number 35, and we're going to get flags here by both wing officials. So let's go ahead and watch this again. And again, we have a kick that doesn't cross the line of scrimmage. It's picked up by a member of the offense, and then they throw a forward pass and eventually tackled near the 50. Now, a couple of things here. We want to make sure that we officiate to the end of the play. The wing sort of stops and doesn't get a spot. We want to make sure that someone has our spot here. Now, this crew did an excellent job of coming together after the play to let the referee know what they had. And they had called an illegal forward pass, both officials. However, this is a kick that did not cross the line of scrimmage. So once that ball is picked up, the offense can run it, they can throw it, and they could even kick it again. So good job by this crew coming together to wave off the flag, as there is no foul here for an illegal forward pass. So we want to make sure, though, that we maintain the spot of the end of the run, because that will be where the ball is next put into play. So on this scrimmage kick, the wide side of the formation, the wide side of the field, is towards the headline side. So our back judge would be lined up on that side, and they should be getting on the radio, letting our line judge know that they should release once the snap is cleanly possessed by the punter. And again, as we talked about last week, this is not a sprint. This line judge should pay attention to the gunner for the kicking team and the player of the return team that is pressing them. However, what we're going to see here is the line judge is slow to react, and in fact, they look back towards the punter when there is some very questionable blocking going on already right around the 26-yard line. So at this point, the snap has been possessed, and the line judge should be releasing and paying attention to this block. And we can see here that they're not doing so. Now, as this play continues to develop, the back judge is in good position. They're going to transition that returner to the wing official. It appears that we perhaps miss a block in the back or a hold here, and this is going to be very difficult for the back judge to see because of all of the bodies in white. It's going to make it very hard. Now, our line judge should be in position to see this, but because of their slow release, they're going to miss this block, and they're also going to miss a subtle block in the back here that also causes the returner to get some more yardage. Now, thankfully, our referee was able to pick up that block. So again, we either have a block in the back or possibly a hold here, and a very subtle but effective block in the back there as well by a member of the return team. Excellent job by the referee there. But again, make sure that you're on the radio as a back judge. And I'm not saying that's what happened here, but just a reminder to declare which wing is releasing once the snap is possessed. The next two scrimmage kicks are pretty similar in that they both have illegal formations. The angle isn't the greatest on either of them, but we're going to get flags by a wing official indicating that we have an illegal formation. On this first one, it looks here that we possibly have as many as 6 players in the offensive backfield. However, the wing is not punching back, and we're only going to get 1 flag on this play. So on all illegal formations, we'd like to see 2 flags. And it's helpful if the wing that has a player back is indicating that. And if you have both of these back, you'd indicate that with 2 fingers back or slow overhead movement, however you indicate 2 players are off the line of scrimmage. Another common mechanic is to tap your flag prior to the snap to help your partner understand that you have an illegal formation. So we'd like to see 2 flags on this play. So we get 1 from the line judge, but nothing from the head linesman. Let's go back and watch that again as well. So the wide side of the field should be towards the line judge. And so they would be releasing once the snap is possessed. But let's watch what the wings do. So they're both taking off before the kick is actually made. So obviously this is a kick that crosses the line of scrimmage, but we want to make sure that we have a wing official that's in place until the kick is past the line of scrimmage. On this one, it's kind of hard to see. The line judge has indicated that there are 2 players off the line to their side. Unfortunately, the film at the time was blocked by the post. And then the very last minute, you're going to be able to see that the line judge taps their flag. So at the snap, we get 2 flags, one from each official. And that's what we want on illegal formation. Now, as this kick continues, we're going to see that the ball goes out of bounds at the 30-yard line. And then the wing turns to the coach right away to explain the options here. So they can take that 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and have them re-kick, or they can take that as a tack-on foul, as an exception, and have that enforced 5 yards from the end of the kick. So good job by the wing here to turn around to the coach and get an indication of what they want to do quickly. And this helps with good game administration and having a nice efficient flow to the game. So one more scrimmage kick here, and just a really good job by the line judge on this play. So as this play develops, they're going to set up, they're looking at actions in front of the run. They have a holding foul, but they don't stop officiating. And you'll notice that they throw a hat, which is fine. It might be a good idea to carry a second flag, but at least here, what they're continuing to do is continuing to officiate the play, and we get a clear hit out of bounds. The crew also does a good job, and we're not going to show the clip of it, but this is a live ball and a dead ball foul. Both need to be enforced, and the crew does an excellent job of enforcing a 10-yard holding penalty against the return team, and then a 15-yard personal foul penalty against the kicking team. Just a really well officiated and enforced play. We don't spend a lot of time looking at pass interference penalties because a lot of judgment goes into that. With that said, we do want to pay attention to this one here, because this is not a defensive pass interference foul. There is very little to no contact whatsoever against the offensive player by the defense. If anything, the offensive player is sticking their hand out and maybe with a slight push off. The line judge is in perfect position to look at this, and we get a flag from the back judge. So as we've talked about all year, and we showed this in a very similar clip regarding a blindside block a couple of weeks ago, this is the opportunity for the line judge to go to the back judge and ask them what they have. The line judge obviously did not throw a flag, and they were in excellent position. We would recommend that the line judge goes to the back judge and asks them what they have in an attempt to talk them off this call. We want pass interference fouls to be obvious and have a clear material restriction for the player to be able to make a bona fide attempt to catch the ball. This is not defensive pass interference. So again, if you have information that's helpful to your crewmate, step up and provide that to them. Here's another example of a really well officiated play. Now this is late in the fourth in a close game, and the crew is in onside kick formation. And so it's always a recommendation to have a beanbag in your hand in case there's first touching by the kicking team prior to the ball going 10 yards. And we're going to have that, but we're also going to have an illegal block by the kicking team because they contacted a member of the return team prior to the ball going 10 yards. So we watch that again. We're going to get 2 beanbags, one by each official, as they have first touching ruled by the kicking team. And then we're also going to get a flag for an illegal block called by the center judge, who does an excellent job of throwing the beanbag with one hand and a flag with another. Just a really excellent job. One other thing we'd want to point out here is this is very close to a pop-up kick, something we don't see a lot anymore. But a pop-up kick, as a reminder, is when the ball is driven into the ground and it goes above the height of the players. And this is very close. So we want to make sure that we're also aware of that type of play, and the back judge is primary on that. But really well done by this crew. Well, we are now into week 2 of the playoffs, and we are 2 years into the mechanics of the wings staying on the line of scrimmage on passes. Yet we continue to see officials drifting downfield. Now, we can make an argument in support of that in situations at the end of a half or the game in which there might be a Hail Mary or something like that. But wings are primary for line of scrimmage fouls such as illegal forward pass and ineligibles. And wings should not be drifting downfield. So we're going to see here on a clear pass play, we have a wing that continues to drift downfield further and further. But in doing so is looking backwards at the quarterback rather than actually looking at their keys, which would be the inside receiver there. They're looking back for some reason, watching the ball when they have no responsibility for that. Now, we get a pass that goes out of bounds, and the question is, did this pass go beyond the line of scrimmage extended? Yes, of course it did, but we don't have a wing official that's in position. And so we're asking maybe the head linesman to make that call from way across the field, and that could be difficult depending on what they're looking at. And so now our center judge has to come in and save the day. So wings, please stay on the line of scrimmage until the ball is past the line of scrimmage, at which point you can hustle downfield. So 2 clips we want to look at involve trick plays with double passes. This first one, we're going to get a clear backwards pass to the receiver, yet we don't get a punch by the wing. So just a reminder that the direction of the pass, if it's going towards you as a wing, you need to punch backwards if it's a backwards pass caught behind the line of scrimmage, and forward if it's a forward pass behind the line of scrimmage. So again, punch backwards if it's a backward pass like this, and we don't get that. Now, this is a clear play. It's pretty easy to see that's what happened. So let's look at this next example here. This is the first play of the game, so we got to be prepared for everything. And we're going to see here that the quarterback is lined up around the 18, and they have a clear forward pass to the receiver. The wing does a good job of punching forward. They're going to have a flag for an illegal forward pass. Now, of course, this is going to be declined because the result of the play is an interception. But again, an excellent job here by the swing official for recognizing that this is a forward pass and a punch forward, which helps everyone know what they had. And so it's very easy then to come together as a crew, decline this penalty, and move on. Well, that's it for this week's Clips of the Week. Good luck again to everyone who is participating in the playoffs this week, whether as a player, coach, or official. As always, we thank you for sending in clips for us to review. If there are any clips you'd like us to review, please send them to the email address on your screen. If you have any questions about the rulings, please direct those to Kevin Hatfield. We'll do at least one more video in the playoffs. Thank you. We'll see you soon, and good luck.